Thank you so much, Ophir. And it's been really, really powerful to hear all the other speakers. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to hear them as well. So I mostly want to speak about the profound level of calls to American Jews to engage and speak out about current issues in Israel. Pretty much as you've heard from all of our speakers tonight, there really is an unprecedented call to American Jews to engage, from well-known writers and public leaders, as well as from the thousands in the streets, and from the Israelis, as you said, that I personally met on a recent trip to Israel. I believe this is really a unique moment of potential for the power of Jewish unity. So I'm calling for us to really make that a reality. One of the most compelling written calls came from Yossi Klein Halevi, Daniel Gordis, and Maddie Freeman, who wrote an open letter to Israel's friends in North America. And with absolutely heartbreaking sense of alarm, they cried out to say, we need the voices of Israel's friends to be heard. And what they said is protecting Israel also means defending it from a political leadership that is undermining its social cohesion and democratic ethos. We, of course, know that Israel's citizens will have the final word, but as part of our steadfast aid to Israel in moments of crisis, Israelis are telling us that our shared commitment to liberal democracy means we have both the right and the responsibility to speak up. Israeli leaders need to hear where we stand, and the tens of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets every week need our voices to join them. Senator Chuck Schumer's unprecedented speech directly gave voice to what he called the silent majority of American Jews, and I count myself among those he was representing, those of us with nuanced views, with the belief in Israel as a Jewish and democratic state that can effectively negotiate a resolution to the conflict with security and dignity for both peoples. He spoke for and inspired all of us who want Israel to do a better job in closing down this stage of the war, including prioritizing the hostages, better protection of innocent civilians, and significant increase in humanitarian aid to Gaza. Our pain in the face of the inhumanity perpetrated against Jews cannot allow us to abandon our belief in the humanity of all people. Senator Schumer courageously said what I also am certain of, and I hope gave confidence to more Americans to express, that new leadership in Israel is critical to these steps, and which they only can be achieved on a foundation of strong Jewish and democratic state. So as Ophir said, I joined the South Bay Solidarity Mission to Israel that took place the week of February 19th, and every Israeli we met was uncharacteristically emotional in expressing gratitude for American Jews coming to Israel, not as tourists, but in true solidarity and connection. And person by person, they opened the conversation to our thoughts and they sought our engagement as we responded to them. And there were many members of our group who previously really thought their voices were not welcome because they're not citizens. But now I think they truly absorbed a new meaning of Kol Yisrael Aravim Zeh B'Zeh, that we are all responsible and we all have an obligation. So the story of Purim can teach us an important lesson, I think, for this moment. And I want to give credit to Rabbi Michael Walden for this wisdom. And he was also inspired by Rabbi Shelley Lewis's book, The Torah of Reconciliation. Because there's two responses in the Purim story to the crisis of Haman's plan to destroy the Jewish people. First, we have Esther's response, albeit not a feminist one, but by losing and compromising some aspects of herself, she succeeds in implementing a strategy that saves the Jewish people writ large. Mordecai's response, on the other hand, of refusing to bow down to Haman while often held up as showing Jewish pride, risked getting his entire people wiped out. I say let's be like Esther. Let us understand that compromise and loss can be a reasonable part of the path to ultimate winning. The final chapters of the Megillat Esther, which sometimes we don't even read, relates that thousands of our enemies are wiped out. And this is really like a fantasy of 4th century BC, of a people who truly were powerless. But Israel today has power and must not lose its allies through self-destruction. In my lifetime, we have never had an American president so strongly giving meaning to the American-Israel alliance. And there never have been such a collection of Arab countries participating in peace negotiations. So in the midst of this traumatic time, there is actually tremendous opportunity to begin an era of peace. So I say, let's do our part to call for the right leadership and to stay engaged with our Israeli mishpacha. Thank you.